Hi, my name is Tom Hart. I'm in Gilbert, Arizona, and my first book was Life in Moments, Inspiration, Determination, and Grit. I had been thinking about writing a book for several years, and it had always been in the back of my mind. I need to accomplish this, and for whatever reason, I had been putting it off. And one day, I had seen on LinkedIn Roger saying, "I help people write their first book," and I thought that would be the perfect way to do it. If I could team up with someone else, help coach me, through the experience, I felt I really could accomplish what I've been putting off for quite a while. And I was right. It was the right thing to do. So to me, the experience was helpful because I'm the type of person who really needs weekly goals. And this helped me keep on track. So I knew every morning I had a meeting with Roger on Saturdays. I wanted to have something accomplished, even if it was small. But during the week, I'd keep working towards that goal. So Saturday morning, I wanted to have something to discuss. I wanted to have something to show Roger that we were making progress. And here and there, I got stuck a few times on a certain chapter. But it was nice to have someone to talk it through, to be able to say, "Hey, here's what I'm thinking. Here's why I'm stuck." And those moments really kept me going throughout the process. And I think without that, I might have put it aside for a while and come back to it months later. And I did it because I wanted to have that meeting. I wanted to be ready. I wanted to have my work done. The other really nice part about those weekly meetings, it really brought out some things that I wasn't thinking about when I was writing a book. And one example would be, I remember Roger asking, I wrote about a moment when someone was really upset. A group of people weren't happy with something that was my responsibility at work. And he said, "Tom, I really didn't know why people were mad at you. Why were they mad?" And I left that part of the story out. And I think you can get caught up in when you're writing that you're assuming certain things, and having someone to bounce those off really brings out the best of your writing. And that's what happened to me. So it kept me on track. The process was simple and really enjoyable. I really look forward to the meetings. I'd have all my questions lined up. I'd have my work done and handed in ahead of time. And they were very productive, and it made me feel like when I started the next week, I had a new starting point and a fresh outlook for each and every chapter. So this book, because I had been waiting, so long to do it, the moment it was complete and we had put everything together, the chapters were all set, and we got into Amazon, I got to tell you, the feeling was just elated. I mean, I just couldn't believe. I knew I was getting to that point, and I knew it would come. When it was finally there, it was just such a terrific experience that it really felt like, why did I wait so long to do this? I wish I had done it years ago, and I was ready to write another book after I had it done. I'm like, okay, I want to keep this going. But that moment when he said it's in, and you go to the page and you look at, there it is, there's my book. Whether I sold a copy or not, I had accomplished something that I've been setting out to do for many years. And truly, it was just a terrific, exhilarating experience to get to that moment. So one of the things that I found was really fulfilling in this process is I had a lot of room to make my own decisions. And working with Roger, I didn't feel like I was being pushed in any one direction. He was there to support me and help me through the process. One example is my daughter Jillian, who's done some editing in the past, was able to edit my book. And that made it even that much more special. And I was able to ask her to read through it, to give me insights, and Roger accepted those insights, and we shared them, and it was like a team effort. There was no opposition there whatsoever. So it made it just that much more appealing to me to be able to have that freedom. It helped me in both my writing, it helped me with bringing my daughter into the experience, and Roger supporting both those efforts. So one of the things that Roger brought out in me as a writer is that the stories I were telling were about my life. And of course I lived them, so I knew them. But he had me bring the reader into the experience of, like, what did it feel like? Was it warm out that day? Was it snowing? Was it cold? What are the aromas of the room? Was there coffee brewing? Were there pastries in the background? And I thought that's a terrific way to bring people almost in the room with you. When you're writing, you're there, you're telling a story, but maybe it was cold that day and, the wind was blowing. And when you walked in, you smelled, fresh coffee brewing. And I think, I didn't never really thought of it that way until he brought it out in me. And when I started writing, I really wrote it in a way that I wanted to think about the reader right there with me, bring him into the total experience that I'm thinking through in my head. I want to put that to paper. He really brought that out of me, and I'm appreciative of that added skill that I have today. So if you're thinking about writing a book like I was for a long time, the turning point was me meeting Roger and just saying yes. And that was the starting gun. Like, I knew once I had made a decision, let's do this together, and I was ready to write. And literally it was the next day when I had made the commitment. I had these ideas in my head. Now I have a task to do, and I'm going to get this done. Until you reach that moment where you're going to say, I'm truly going to do this because I'm teaming up with someone. It's going to be my work. I'm going to commit to it, and I'm going to commit a certain amount of time a day. You're going to keep thinking about it, and you're going to wish that time hadn't passed. I wish I did this 7-8 years ago when I was thinking of it. It was the same story that I had back then, and I waited way too long to do it. So I just say, get yourself to yes, I want to do it, get started, and get writing. I'm ready to write another book like today.